In this video, we'll be understanding what is actually a TypeScript, right? So how does it compare itself to JavaScript, and what is a TypeScript, who built it, if something like this, right? So basically TypeScript is a superset. So if you see, JavaScript is over here and ES6, the ECMAScript standard, is over here. We'll understand what is ES6 and what are the different features of it in a separate video. But yeah, TypeScript is actually a superset of JavaScript. It means all the powers of JavaScript or all the behavior of JavaScript along with features of ES6. It means not only ES6, it is also means features of ECMAScript. So ECMAScript is the one who is adding new features to the JavaScript, right? So maybe your browser is running some version of JavaScript and ECMAScript is keep on adding new features, like it is developing new features, right? In that scenarios, TypeScript contains both the new features of JavaScript, new features of ECMAScript, and also the existing features of supported by JavaScript in different browsers. Okay, so TypeScript is like a superset of all of these ECMAScript and JavaScript. And what exactly is it, right? So it is built by Microsoft. So Microsoft guys felt the need of TypeScript because people were using JavaScript a lot, but a lot of problems come into the picture. So Microsoft built it and made it open source for all of us. So it's like TypeScript compiles. So TypeScript, whatever you write the code into, it compiles into JavaScript only, because browsers cannot understand TypeScript. Again, remember the point that browsers only understand HTML, CSS and JavaScript. No other language is understood by them. So whatever code you write, you finally convert them into JavaScript itself, right? But why exactly do we need? So what exactly is TypeScript? When you're converting behind the scenes again into JavaScript only, why the heck do I need to use a language like TypeScript, right? Because TypeScript gives JavaScript the static types. It means it defines the type of different data, like is it a string, is it a number, is it a array, is it an object, and if it is an object, what are the different properties present in it. Why is it? Because when you're writing the code, when you're writing a JavaScript code, you never know what the object, what data you're going to access in an object, what type of data you're going to access in an array. Because in JavaScript, arrays can store any kind of data, number, string, it can store another data, another array as well. If in such cases, if you're writing the code now, okay, you remember it, but after 2 days you come back and see, hey, why am I accessing the third element as an array again? Because nobody has any restrictions, nobody has put any kind of restrictions on JavaScript. It is a very, very flexible language. It is good if you're working on a small scale project, because you're starting the project by yourself and completing by yourself. But when somebody else comes in, hey, what type of data is it? How do I deal with it? Like if I am trying to convert, if I am trying to uppercase a string, but actually it is not a string, right? So static types gives the developer, it adds linting to the JavaScript. So it says, okay, if you're trying to use a string function on a number, somebody should throw you an error. Otherwise, when you push your code into the production and suddenly number comes into picture, it shouldn't break, right? So it adds the static types, which is very, very important. We need to understand what are the different types of it. And also remember that TypeScript has all the features of JavaScript. It is not ignoring even a single feature of JavaScript. So whatever JavaScript has, whatever power it has, whatever way of execution of code it has, like JavaScript hoisting, closures, all of these stuff are still present in TypeScript. It is just the way you write your JavaScript is changed, and just the way your JavaScript code behaves is changing. So in JavaScript, it is just in compilation. It means it actually goes into compilation and interpretation at the same time. But in TypeScript, you first have to compile your code and convert it into JavaScript. Then you can run your JavaScript code. Now it is like TypeScript to JavaScript. JavaScript again compiles and interprets to run onto the browser or any Node.js applications. So TypeScript did not ignore even a single feature. Additionally, it has more power than your existing JavaScript version. So like adding the new features of ECMAScript. So TypeScript contains all the features of JavaScript, also the power of ECMAScript, and also few powers of its own. So that's why TypeScript is very strong language and it is really useful when you are building a large scale application. Trust me, that you will find the difference very easily. So go with TypeScript. It is a large scale application, and hence most of the people, actually 62% of the people already started using TypeScript, and rest 22 people are in a way. So this is a survey. It says that how TypeScript is growing at a scale. And remember that TypeScript is again converting into JavaScript, right? So one important thing here is that TypeScript, when it compiles to JavaScript, there is no more static types attached to it. We'll see what it is, but yeah, behind the scenes, when you want to run your TypeScript code, it ultimately goes into JavaScript only, because browsers understand only JavaScript, right? And the last and important thing which you need to keep in mind, this is very important, that TypeScript doesn't change the runtime behavior of JavaScript. So see, where JavaScript code is being executed, that runtime behavior has not been touched by the TypeScript. TypeScript is just an additional layer on the JavaScript where it adds some functionality of static types, writing classes in a neat way. I mean, allowing you to write an object-oriented program very easily with all of its syntax, which it brings us to the JavaScript, because JavaScript doesn't have any restrictions while you're writing the code. If somebody says this is wrong, how good it is. Similarly, TypeScript brings all of these kinds of behavior to the JavaScript, and it doesn't touch how the runtime behavior of JavaScript is there. So it doesn't change the runtime behavior of JavaScript. However, it used to execute the closure, the JavaScript hoisting, the all the stuff like JavaScript being immediately invoked functions. All of these functions are still there, and their behavior is not touched by the TypeScript. This is very important, because once you convert your TypeScript code into JavaScript, then nothing is changed. So this is very important, guys. Please keep in mind.